What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Beating the Bookie show. I'm Kiefer, BTB. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. It's the open week. We've got early morning tee times. We've got the big guns. Everybody's going to be in the field. Listen, it's one of the best weeks in the whole season. Early morning tee times, like I said. BTB, how you feeling, big dog?
I'm feeling great. Ready to get past that U.S. Open because that was one of the most boring majors I ever watched. Um, Going to a course that's completely different than the U.S. Open. Usually, the British Open course would be, relatively tough. But after that U.S. Open course at Oakmont, everything probably seems much easier to these guys. That was just the most boring major I've ever seen. Not one tree on course, but we'll leave that tournament in the past. Uh, you know, we're going to Royal Portrush here, where Shane Lowry won in 2019. Since he won, they lengthened the course a little bit. No real drastic changes, but lots of English players, lots of Irish players. They love this course, and lots of guys have had success over here. And links golf is a completely different style of golf than we play on the PGA Tour. So I'm looking forward to it. Usually, when you think links golf, all you think of is these deep bunkers, right? And when you think of bunkers, look, Oakmont had 168 bunkers, right? Uh, Portrush only 62 bunkers. So guys aren't going to get in nearly as much trouble here as they did in um in Oakmont. And from what I hear in the practice rounds, this course is much easier than Oakmont, and the guys are pretty much having a scoring fest out there in the practice rounds. So I think at this point, people just have to watch out for the weather. I do see on Thursday that winds are supposed to be low pretty much all day, but at the end of the day, they kind of pick up to, I think I saw about 15, 16 mile per hour gust. So I think it favors the guys who tee off early on Thursday and then late on Friday. Minimal advantage, but obviously it's important when you're picking a first round leader. You want to come out and pick the guys probably in the morning on Thursday, where they have the advantage with the win. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, our final major of the year. I feel like this year has gone by quick, and this is one of my
So
this is probably
fast,
my
man.
probably my favorite major of the year, just because this is a beautiful course, right? It's on the beach. It's nature. You get the elements, right? And Masters is most people's favorite golf course, but look, that's the Masters is kind of like Disneyland, right? Like Disney, everything's everything's manufactured. Everything there is like fake, right? It's too good to be true. This is more like nature, right? Like nature's test. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, dude, nothing against Augusta. Beautiful place for sure. But, seeing this is totally different from what we see over in the U.S. every single week. I mean, 50 weeks out of the PGA Tour year, we're seeing a course that is pretty similar. Of course, the Amex looks a little different. But, I mean, over there, it always makes for a picturesque course, a picturesque tournament. And I'm looking forward to it to the max.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun week, and we're getting the best golfers in the world for one of the final times of this season this year. People are going to see a lot of names they don't know from amateurs who have made the tournament cut from Europe. They're going to see a lot of Irish golfers that they never heard of before. Lots of guys are going to be competing, and I guarantee there's going to be that one guy who is lurking around in the first round that nobody's ever heard of, who just comes out of nowhere and surprises people. Like I believe last year I had Shane Lowry, I think, first round leader, and I think we got sniped by a guy who I honestly don't even remember the guy's name. Um,
Probably
the
hadn't done
guy
much since.
he was like 200 to 1 to be the first round leader, and he beat us. So that kind of stung. I think we had like 50 to 1 on Lowry. So that can happen anytime over here, because guys who are in Europe, they play these courses all the time. They know the courses very well. And if you're familiar with the course, I think you can do very well. But obviously, you go back to like 2019 here. Rory, I think, finished like 3 over. So this is one of his home courses. So it doesn't always work out for the guys who know it well. So as we saw last week with Rory at the Scottish Open, not taking it down, and usually you think experience wins a kind of tournament like this. And all the statistics say a guy who has like a top 10 finish in the season in the events before, usually wins here, or a guy who's finished second or better at a major the last few years usually wins here. But take a look at last week, right? Chris Gardner up at the Scottish Open. right? This is a guy who didn't specialize and wasn't a links golf specialist, but links golf fit his game last week, and he won the Scottish Open to qualify for this event. So I don't think having a lot of links golf experience, like playing on it, um, really means a lot here. I do think that there's certain factors of a guy's game that can help them play links golf well. Like a low, like stinger line drive off the tee, right? Like low ball trajectory, right? You don't really want somebody here who's going to have a high ball trajectory and get caught up in those swirling winds. So I think there's plenty of guys whose game suits this this course, this kind of golf very well, and I'm looking forward to it because I think this week there's a lot of guys who are huge dogs that have a good shot to win this thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Anybody in particular you got your eye on? You want to give a little sprinkle to?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think one guy who's majorly disrespected is being right now is JJ Spawn, right? You can pick him up at some places 110 to 1. He literally checks every box of like the past 10 British Open winners, right? He's won a major this season, right? He finished second at TPC, losing to Rory in a playoff. So, he won the US Open, which was the toughest course they've played all season by far. Right? He birdied 17 and 18 to win there. Hit that, what was it, 70-foot, 58-foot putt to win
Crazy.
on the 18th. Second place at Ponte Vedra, losing to Rory on a Monday playoff, of course. So two of the hardest courses this year he's played great at. I think JJ Spawn is not getting a lot of respect. He's always been an underdog, and he was 100 to 1 to win the US Open. He won that. And he's 100 to 110 to 1 here. It's probably because he doesn't have a lot of links golf experience, but his game suits links golf very well. Low ball flight. His strokes gained around the green, he's like top 2 in the PGA. When he's rolling his putter, obviously we've seen at the US Open, he's one of the best in the world, and he's been playing very consistent, right? He got like top 15 at the Travelers. So obviously he's having his best season by far. And, I'd much rather play a JJ Spawn who's won a major this year at 110 to 1 than playing Scotty Scheffler at 4.5 to 1, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
you have Scotty Scheffler out there today saying, you know what, like in the grand scheme of things, golf's not really that important to me. My family and
It's the
my
last thing
ch-
I want to hear somebody
yeah.
saying is if I'm betting them.
My family and my child are the most important. Obviously, your wife and your kid are the most important thing in your life, like for everybody, right? But I'm just not saying that, 2 days before the final major of the year, right? It's almost like he kind of talks like he's kind of defeated. Maybe his confidence isn't up because I don't think, after last season, I don't think Scotty's having the season that he wanted to this year, So maybe sounds like he's like, that's like a mentally weak kind of statement. I mean, although everybody would agree with him, right? Like the family and the kid.
Yeah, the
That's the most
statement's
important.
great, and it's a
But that's
statement that
common
everybody's going to
sense.
agree with.
I mean, it's
But like,
common
you're not
sense.
gonna. But you're the number one athlete at your sport. You can't be saying stuff like that
Yeah.
the day before the last major tournament of the year.
Yeah. Like when they asked Kobe Bryant, like, are you going to win game 7 of the finals? He's not like, you know what, game 7, it's not really, it doesn't really matter. My
It's
family
not the
loves
most
me.
important thing to me. Yeah, well, no
Yeah.
shit. Like, I know, buddy. Like, come on.
So, you wouldn't hear Rory say that, or, John Rahm or
Maybe you
someone like
would
that.
hear
So
Rory say it. He seems to be in touch with his emotional side. You see his new hair?
that is kind of funny actually, because he did the same thing I kind of did. He said that, Amanda Bionis asked him to take his hat off. He took it off and she said, "What's with the haircut?" He said, "I made the mistake of, thinking if I cut my hair short, I would look like I have less gray hairs." He's like, "But I look like I have more gray hairs, so I made the mistake." I guess he just didn't realize that he could just go get like a touch of gray. He could get rid of all those grays with one shampooing. So that's a tip for
New
Rory
new
next time.
sponsorship loading. He was waiting on the agent to pull the plug.
Exactly. So I think Rory. Obviously, he's another guy to watch out for this weekend, right? Like I'm not going to bet
Course.
Scotty. Like if Scotty wins, good for him. Obviously, I always like when Scotty wins, but I'm not betting a Scotty at 5 to 1 to win, right? Can I bet Rory at 8 to 1 to win? Playing in Northern Ireland, of course, because if he wins in Northern Ireland, he's already a hero in Northern Ireland. Like he's the most famous person ever from there. Can he win it again? Sure, right? And can it add to his storybook season where he won the Masters? Of course. So will I bet Rory? Probably. I mean, do I like his odds? Like, not really. But I mean, look, he's playing at his home course, right? So you really have to bet him here. You got another guy like John Rahm, who's a link specialist, also, right? This
Yep.
guy's a two-time winner at the Irish Open. I think 2017 and 2019 he won the Irish Open. Um, John Rahm has been like a top 10 machine at majors. Been a top 10 machine at Live. He just hasn't been winning majors, obviously, since his Masters win in 2023. But we're seeing a lot of positive stuff from John Rahm, so I definitely like where his game is headed. Then you look at Bryson. I mean, Bryson obviously winning the major last year. I think he's had a couple blowups this year. Obviously, the Masters, which cost him the win, and I think it was the PGA Championship, maybe kind of falling apart, towards the end. And Bryson, I think obviously his drive has been there. I just think for Bryson, his iron game's kind of been struggling this year. That really cost him on the back nine at the Masters when he took the lead, temporarily over Rory. So I don't know if Bryson's 20-1. I really want to bet. I want Bryson to win, but it's like I feel like we've been in that spot so many times this year for Bryson, and he hasn't gotten it done. It's just tough. And then of course you got Tommy Fleetwood,
Oh,
Matthew Fitzpatrick, 28 and 30-1. Fitzpatrick, I had him at the Scottish Open last week, 45-1. He comes first place, I think, with 9 holes to play, and then kind of just falls apart. Immediate bogey after taking the lead. And then Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood finished second here in 2019, right behind Shane Lowry. Um, he kind of collapsed in the final round there as well. Didn't play very well when he had a chance to win it early.
maybe
But
it's a pattern.
that's what Tommy Fleetwood does, right? He collapses in final rounds. We've seen it time and time again, and I thank him for that at the Travelers, right? Because
Yeah,
he gave us a 31 Keegan Bradley victory. So
that was great. Great day.
I thank him for that. But where is Tommy's confidence, right? Like when he blew that win, he said, "I liked where my game was today. I just didn't get it done." Like that, I thought that was very telling right there. And then you got Bobby Mack.
Love
Uh,
Bobby Mack this week.
he's a link specialist, and
I've got a
and
links golf savant on my notes here.
yeah, look, links golf, Bobby Mack, and Bryson was talking about Bobby Mack today, actually, in a press conference. I like Bobby Mack, and my outright winners for this tournament's gonna look like Ryder Cup team, right? Like for Europe, right? Like besides JJ Spawn, I'm betting a lot of European guys. And I think there's a lot of guys who can surprise people. So for like top 20s and stuff, like Pedrag Harrington, he just won like the US Senior Open last week, right? Um, he obviously he's Irish, right?
He's won this
Uh,
event back to back before.
he has, and he tees off. He's the first tee time on Thursday,
Ooh,
right? So he
round
tees off.
score under.
He
This
tees
is for me.
off first to tee off. I sprinkled him already a little for the first round leader, 175-1, right? I mean, he goes out there, puts in like, 4 under, and say the wind picks up. Um, you never know. So I definitely think there's some value there. So I'll be taking him probably for top 40 also.
Dude, boo on DraftKings for not having round score for Mr. Harrington. That's insane. Nothing on birdies or better either.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I just got back from New York, and I found FanDuel was very good actually. So
Yeah, man. FanDuel, DraftKings,
but for golf, for
Beatin.
for golf, I think Bovada is like probably one of the best. Bovada has so many options. I mean, for this week, it's really crazy. They got like every
For
option.
majors, BetOnline is pretty decent, but for regular tournaments, usually a Bovada or a FanDuel, DraftKings is the way to go for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many Bovada has so many bets out right now for this. I mean, it's truly crazy how many available bets they have for the Open Championship, how many different types of winners they have, right, and stuff like that, like three-way winners, right? So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I've loved Bovada. I mean, I've been using crypto on there. They literally pay out in 4 minutes with Litecoin,
Yeah.
right? 4 minutes, so up to $190,000 in 4 minutes they pay out. So
Well,
um,
that's going to be a little low for my limits here lately. So,
so yeah, it's been a a nice time on those sites, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Obviously, for golf, the worst there is Hard Rock Bet, but
yeah, I wasn't even going to
every
mention that purple company, but
everybody out there knows that. But I got this. I also got this special shirt that says "Can't wait to gamble today."
that's
Um,
hey, today's a good day for it. MLB All Star Game tonight, WNBA action, the Open, 1:30 a.m. Well, I think it's 2:30 for you, 1:30 for me. So, very early start to the day.
so I mean, I'll just give out like a couple sprinkles I have, for this thing. Just a couple outright winners. I mean, I think Chris got her up last week. Pretty much proves that anybody can win a links golf tournament, right? As long as their game suits this, right? Like low ball flight,
Yep.
stuff like that. Who can get hot with their putter? Somebody who's played well this season, like top tens coming in. And I think a guy who all these guys that I'm gonna give out, they all fit, they all check all those boxes, right? We already talked about JJ Spawn, right? Another guy I like, Harry Hall,
Yeah.
right? 110 to 1. Harry Hall got ninth at the Travelers. Obviously, it's a much easier course than here, probably. But he got six. He's had six top 20s his last seven PGA events, right? Two top tens in those. And for the first round, this is a guy. Harry Hall is a guy. No matter what course it is, he's always a threat to be the first round leader, right? He's not a great closer, but Harry Hall is one of the best
Starts
first.
off strong.
He's one of the best first round players on tour, in my opinion. So Harry Hall, 110 to 1. I mean, can he get it done over here in Europe? He's also a links golf specialist, right? He did go to UNLV for college, and he lives in Vegas. But listen, he's from England, and he's played links golf his entire life.
What a
I think
sick life.
I know. So Harry Hall, 110 to 1. The only bad part about Harry Hall is he's sponsored by Hard Rock. So
Uh,
I do have to hold that against him. So obviously, from
does he
going from
does he Photoshop scorecards like they Photoshop bet slips?
that's a
Sure hope
wild thing
not.
that
I
they
sure
that's
hope
a
not.
that is a wild thing that we caught them doing, but there's no punishment for them ever. So it is what it is. And then after Harry Hall, I got Shane Lowry, right? Shane Lowry's played decent this year. Let's check on Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry, um, obviously he missed the cut at US Open. 45th at the Travelers, but he's finished 21st or better here 4 out of the last 5 years at the British Open, right? And obviously he won here in 2019 by like 6 strokes over Tommy Fleetwood. Um, Shane, he's not playing well, obviously, his last few events, but he's taken a few weeks off. I don't think he's played since the Travelers. Oh, he played the Scottish last week, but oh no, he didn't play the Scottish last week. So he's had about 3 weeks off to get ready for this. So I'd venture to say he's practiced a ton here, played a ton of practice rounds
Of
here, getting
course.
ready for it. And Shane Lowry, 35 to 1. Um, and like I said, he's finished 21st or better here, 4 of his last 5 events, and that's 3 times in the top 12, sixth place, and a first place, obviously. So I think Shane Lowry is definitely in the mix.
I got one I love for Shane tomorrow. Round one score under 70.5. Dead even odds on DraftKings. I mean, listen, in the last time this tournament was here at Royal Portrush, he started off 67, 67, 63, and then there are round four of 72. So I mean, giving some shots back at that on the victory lap. Listen, I think he can fire a 70 tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, look, if Shane's playing well, obviously that's easily doable, right? When
If
he's
he's
playing
not,
well,
yeah.
he's one of the best players on tour, right? So and he's played well for us this season for the most part. So that's very attainable for Shane. One guy who I think this guy is 80 to 1, and I think that's just a total slap in the face to his game right now. Adam Scott, right? 80 to 1. Former major champion before, right? He got 12th at the U.S. Open. He's finished in the top 15 here twice in the last 3 years in the British Open. He did miss the cut here in 2019 at Portrush, but Adam Scott's another guy with low ball flight. He can hit those stingers. I mean, when his iron play is on, he's one of the best in the world. And what if his putter is rolling? And I think Adam's weakness is probably staying consistent for all 4 rounds, right? Like not having that meltdown stretch where you just melt down. I know he'll probably be one of the best guys already, best dressed guys on course already, and his brown on brown looking like a UPS driver.
Yeah, I hope I look like that
Um,
UPS driver when I'm 51 or however old he is.
yeah, he is in great shape. And if there's ever a major that Adam Scott's going to win, it's this, right? We see him. Look, Adam Scott plays these kind of courses very well, right? Where it's not a birdie fest, right? Um, tough conditions, tougher conditions. I think is the better, for Adam Scott. So Adam Scott, 80-1. I don't mind that bet. I can tell you that. So I'll be definitely sprinkling that a little bit.
Man, it's going to be an unbelievable tournament. Like you said, early start on the tee times again. I'm sure I'll get my night or my weekly tweet out about the early morning tee times, getting a little promo for the package. But hey, if you want to get involved, join up and get the full list of picks. BeatinTheBookie.com,
Let me give out one. I'm gonna give out
the
one.
buzzer beater.
Let me just give out one free play. This is gonna be a top 40 bet, right? And this includes ties. DraftKings includes ties, and so does Bovada also. I'm taking a Patrick Reed top 40 minus 150. Obviously, Patrick's coming off his playoff victory in Live Golf, right? A couple weeks ago, won the playoff victory, like a 4-man playoff for Live Golf.
Great watch, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great tournament to watch. And look, Live Golf gets these guys ready to play majors because they literally set their pin locations for their final rounds. Like
Insane.
just they want total carnage, right? So that Valderrama or Andaluca, whatever it was, just insane pin placement. They set up for total carnage, and so these guys are very well versed in tough conditions. And Patrick Reed, one of the best iron players in the world, right? What did he get? Second place at the Masters.
Yeah.
Right? Came on like gangbusters. I guess technically third place because Justin Rose finished second. But came on like gangbusters. He got 23rd at the U.S. Open, and then he went from there to winning the Live Golf. I think it was his first win actually on Live Golf. 2019 here at Portrush, he got 10th place. 33rd here in 2023. He didn't play last year, but I think Patrick Reed minus 150 for a top 40 finish. And also factor in that he's probably a long shot to make the Ryder Cup team because
He's
they're
going to be one to play good here.
they're not the Ryder Cup team. They're not gonna pick any live guys. They don't have to, right? Like they're not they're forced to pick Bryson, right? Is Brooks gonna make it? Probably not. Um, is Patrick Reed gonna make it? He finished third at the Masters, 23rd at the U.S. Open, right? Like he's one of the event at Bethpage. He's probably not gonna make it unless he finishes top 3, top 2 here at the Open, right? So Patrick Reed, I think he wants to make that Captain America, right? But Keegan Bradley
You
is
got
not
to have
Captain.
Captain America on the team.
Keegan Bradley is not Captain America, who they've been calling Captain America. It's Patrick. Everyone knows it's Patrick Reed, or everyone who's not a hater knows it's Patrick Reed. Like used golf facts. Justine Reed, she knows it's Patrick Reed, Captain America, right? So I like Patrick Reed top 40 minus 150. I'll probably do like 3 units on that. I love that play, so I'll definitely be taking that. I'll be taking him top 20 also, and I'll be taking Patrick Reed probably 75, 80-1 to win it also for a tiny bit because he's got a lot to play for this week. So Patrick Reed, I'm liking him this week, and I'm liking where his game is at, and I think he gets a job done top 40. So look out for Captain America.
Love that pick, man. Love it. You got anything else?
That's pretty much it. First round leaders. I'm always going to sprinkle the Harry Halls of the world, right? Let's just look at first round leaders just for
Anything to take a bite
just
of?
for a second, right? I took Harrington 175 to 1 because he's first to tee off and he's just coming off that senior major win. He's
Dialed
Irish,
in.
two-time winner. So I think that would be a true like a storybook story right there, right? Like a true fairy tale, right? So first round leader, I'll probably go with Harry Hall. He's 100 to 1 at BetOnline. And like I said, he's a first round demon. Um, Bryson's been coming out hot for first rounds. Bryson's 33 to 1 here. Probably pass on that, but one guy that I will take, I'm definitely not passing on them first round here is Rory McIlroy. 25 to 1 to be the first round leader
Great
at
odds for that.
BetOnline. So I'll be taking Rory McIlroy 25 to 1 to be the first round leader. Harry Hall. I'll probably sprinkle in a little John Rahm 28 to 1. But I'm not gonna be taking Scotty 16 to 1. I know now that I say that Scotty will probably be the first round leader. So
That's how it usually
um
goes.
but I'm not gonna take Scotty. So I do like those guys. But I won't be playing Justin Thomas here, I've seen a lot of people on Matthew Fitzpatrick. I just think he just can't get the job done. So I won't be supporting him. Tyrrell Hatton, first round leader, 55 to 1. Tyrrell I believe he got top 10 here. I think he got fifth here last time they played, actually, fifth or sixth or something like that at Port Rush. Um, Tyrrell Hatton, let's look at his stats for like the last fourth place at the US Open. That's another guy who checks all the boxes, right? Sixth place for 2019, 11th in 2022, 20th
Great.
in 2023. I believe he was in the playoff for the Live with Patrick Reed. He's been playing great on Live Golf. He got fourth at the U.S. Open this year, and he was right up there actually at the end with a shot to win it. Right, so um, he actually said like he was watching the finish and when JJ Spawn hit that putt, and he was like, "What a putt!" So he was happy for JJ hitting that. So I think Tira Hatton, that's another guy you got to watch out for. But 30 to 1 outright, I kind of would want some better odds for Tyrrell right there. But I will take him first round leader, 50 to 1. I mean, come on, I'll take that all day. So it's gonna be a good package. Like I said, it's our last major of the year. So definitely looking forward to it. And just getting ready for a big package, hoping to end the major season with a bang.
Heck yeah, man. Last one of the year. It sucks that it ends so soon, but it's going to be fun. This tournament's going to be electric.
That's all right. I'm not too sad with golf ending because we've got tennis now, right?
Yeah,
Like
baby, the tennis club,
the U
dude. Talk about
the
that.
U
Promo that a little bit, dude. Take
the
the
U.S.
lead.
Open. Got the U.S. Open in a few weeks. BTB Tennis Club 20 and 2 at the Wimbledon to end it with a
Disgusting.
plus 450 and max winners. So looking forward to that. Getting ready for the U.S. Open. Meanwhile, we're stuck playing the ATP Cabo. These tennis players really, I mean, they got like quite the
They go
life. Some
all
of these
over the
guys.
place, man. Yeah, these
I mean,
tournaments are in some beautiful places.
London, Cabo, Switzerland,
Yeah, and they
Sweden.
all look great.
They all do. So I mean, what a life for those guys. I mean, that's got to golfers and tennis players got to have the best of the best. As long as you're a decent player, right? Like making some pretty good money. So
Dude, yeah.
definitely looking forward to that. That tennis. So
Man, it was a great tournament watching Wimbledon. The whole thing was electric every morning. It's a wake and cash type situation, much like if you go to beatinthebookie.com or beatinthebookie on Twitter and buy the packages, much like tomorrow morning will be for you.
tonight, yeah. I mean, yeah. So we got tennis tonight from Cabo, 9
Yeah,
p.m.
late night. Yeah, get on that.
And today is Tuesday, almost 8 p.m. The Open tees off Thursday, 1:30 in the morning. So you got about just over 30 hours until the British Open starts. So looking forward to it. The package will start going out Wednesday morning. The players will start rolling out shortly after that. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. and I can't wait. Hopefully, we have a big week, and I'm looking forward to having golf on when I'm up working out at the gym. Nothing's better than watching it while you're working out. So,
Yep. Looking forward to it, man. Hey, always a fun time, BTB. Appreciate you having me. Let's have ourselves a week.
sounds good. And you guys, we're gonna have a tennis show too
Yeah,
going
stay
forward.
tuned. Stay
We will
tuned.
we'll do a U.S. Open tennis preview, which will be fun.
Yeah, man.
And that one will be very simple. It's like, all right, Sinner versus Alcaraz final. Like
That's all you got to
just
say.
it really is crazy. It's like
Flip a coin, man.
it shows you how tough it is to beat the best in tennis or in golf. It's anybody's weekend, anytime, right? Like it's almost like women's tennis, right? Anybody can win any week.
Yeah.
That's how golf is. Men's golf every week. Anybody can win. So don't be surprised when JJ Spawn wins his second major of the year this week, and he's
Just,
the British Open champion.
just tell everybody you heard it here first when it happens.
You heard it here first. JJ Spawn, 2025 Open Championship winner. Claret Jug, 1888. This course has been around since 1888. He's going to be the first golfer in history at the Open Championship that wears sunglasses backwards, who never puts them on his face. He just wears them for all 72 holes.
Never covers his eyes with those things.
Never.
Crazy work.
Never.
BTB, appreciate you, buddy. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. Happy golfing. We'll see you guys next week.